Our videos feature voices and visuals created using AI technology, intended for adult entertainment. These depictions should not be mistaken for real celebrities. There is no endorsement, affiliation, or association with the personalities portrayed. These should be seen as nothing more than poor imitations. Viewer discretion is advised when watching this content. Titty sprinkles. Previously on Tyranny of Dragons.
What do you want to know?
You said earlier you were planning on selling our stuff to the cultists. Are these the same cultists who attacked Greenest?
What? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. There's a lot of them lately. They've been gathering from all over the place. All I really know is they're gathering in a big campsite, not too far from here.
I showed them the map.
Oh shit. Yeah, this could well be their campsite. Nice fine groves. You mind if I keep hold of this?
Sure thing. So is this where we go next?
It looks like it. Are you sure you still want to come with us?
Absolutely. I want to help you find that cultist. I'm not sure how much further I'll go after that, but at the least I want to help right the wrongs I was a part of.
You fellas saved my life, so I feel I owe you a small debt. I give them a low bow. I am Bill Mislust. I'm a friend of the woodlands, patron to the taverns and the lover to the females of the world. It is my pleasure to meet you and accompany you on your travels.
Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome back.
It's real good to be back.
Why do we have to keep waiting so long between sessions?
I think it helps build suspense.
Complete bullshit.
What?
I don't want to keep waiting weeks, sometimes months, just to hear your character go on about something no one cares about. Just give me regular action every week. I think that's fair to ask.
Yeah, and we should have 1 hour long sessions as well.
Well, fuck me, he's awake.
An hour-long session every week would be perfect. We would fly through this campaign so fast we could be done in a few months.
We could be fighting Tiamat by the new year.
I could seduce all the tavern wenches on the Sword Coast.
I could become the strongest warrior in the realm.
Gentlemen, I applaud your enthusiasm, but let's dial it back a little. We have been playing this campaign for some time now, and although I would love us to be further along than we currently are, the truth is, we do not have the time to meet as regularly to speed us along. I simply cannot do a session a week and have them be an hour in length as well. I would love to tell you that moving forward, we would do all that we can to meet more often and have longer sessions, but in reality, we will be meeting on fewer occasions, with larger amount of times in between sessions, perhaps with more changes to how we do this. I say to you now, I do not want this to stop. Our time together has been most enjoyable, but forces outside of my control are and will be dictating the future. All I ask is you remain patient, and hopefully one day, we will be back to a standard we can all be happy with.
Okay with me.
Same here.
I suppose that will do.
Excellent. Now let us continue. You are currently in the formerly occupied bandit camp, having just defeated them. You kept one alive long enough to get a few details from them regarding the cultists that attacked Greenest, discovering that a large number of them have been gathering at a much larger campsite. After obtaining this information, Swolnald then proceeded to slice the throat of the remaining bandit. Grog found a map among the corpses which you believe is said campsite, and a new member has joined you, the captive satyr known as Bilimus Lust. I would like a perception check from you all. Those with a 14 or higher would have noticed that the temperature has begun to decrease rather sharply and that it has begun to get darker.
I take a look around the area before I speak to the others. It's getting late. Perhaps it would be worth staying here the night.
Maybe, but we'll need to retrieve the horses.
We can gather them and tether them to the cage for now. There's a fire pit already set up, and we could plan our next move.
A cozy little camp out under the stars. I like your thinking, my fellow beard grower.
It might need a bit of a cleanup, And I gestured to the numerous dead bodies pile and the pool of blood coming from the one Swole sliced open. Could we put them somewhere else?
That's a good idea. And I pat him on the shoulder. You take care of that with your new roommate. White Noise will go get the horses. And I'll go take a big shit in the woods. Let's meet back in a little and get to business. Without saying another word or waiting to hear from the others, I walk off into the woods.
I'll make my way to the horses.
I guess mine and Bill's characters will begin cleaning up then.
Very well. We'll skip ahead a little as nothing eventful has happened and proceed to the four of you sitting around a crackling campfire. The moon and stars shine brightly and flood the surrounding area in moonlight. The horses reside by the cage, chewing on some grass. The sound of insects can be heard buzzing and the air is cold. You can feel it in your chests as you breathe, but thankfully the fire is well stacked and the heat coming from it keeps you warm.
I'll spend my time slowly cleaning the blood off of my axe, making broad strokes with a piece of cloth.
I'm going to stare at Swolenald with a look of contempt on my face.
You keep looking at me like that white boy and I'm going to have to make my axe dirty again.
Help me understand something here. First, you decide to leave us. Then you return to fight with us.
Seems easy enough to understand.
Wait, what do you mean you left us? Were you going to let those bandits have their way with us, Swole?
Pretty much.
Were you just fucking around with me then? You didn't seem to give a damn what happened to Grog.
No, I meant every word. I personally couldn't give two shits what happens to any of you.
I stand up in anger. What's your fucking problem, Swole? If you don't give a shit, then why bother coming back to help us?
I don't have to explain myself to you. Just know that for now, I'm here and helping. So sit back down before you regret it.
Donald, make an intimidation check for me. Joe, make a charisma saving throw. Swolenald's words take effect on Gurmley. You believe that if you were to remain standing, he would force you onto the ground, possibly using his axe to do so.
Fine. But sooner or later, Swole, you will explain what is going on. We need to work as a team if we're to infiltrate this campsite. And we need to know if you can be trusted to stick around long enough to pull it off. Otherwise, we may as well give up.
I'm sensing some tension in the air. How about I play us some soft melodies to help lift our spirits?
So, Billimus, why don't you tell us about yourself? How did you end up in that cage?
My story is not so interesting, but I shall tell it to you. I was passing through when I was jumped upon by that group of bandits. They threw me in the cage and would speak about the horrors that would fall upon me once they sold me on.
That must have been awful to hear.
Yes, I suppose it is, but thankfully they let me keep my instruments, which helped keep my spirits up.
How long were you their prisoner?
Several days, I reckon. Or maybe more, it's hard to say.
I understand. It must be hard to keep track of such things in such a stressful situation.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. It was difficult to tell because of the way this forest behaves.
What the hell does that mean?
This place, do you not know where you fellas are?
Actually, I do. A bird told me it's called the Harrowing Woods.
And do you know what happens to people in here?
From what the Raven told me, it infects the minds of those with inner torments.
This is true. There is a little more to it, depending on a person's past trauma. The forest can manifest it into existence.
So like they become real?
Who's they?
I saw Bomb and Sharpen when I went off on my own, and Lilliput, and my old friend and mentor, plus some fucking water snakes dragged me into the waters.
What? They're alive?
Well, yes and no.
What do you mean? If they're alive, we need to find them.
It's complicated, my friend. Yes, there will be no doubt versions of their former selves wandering these woods, as they must have been formed from our big guy here. They clearly had an impact on you. I'm going to assume you feel responsible for their deaths.
The one responsible was that fucking cultist bastard.
Maybe so, but on some level you must also feel partially to blame. That would have brought them here.
So what? You telling me I'm going to be haunted by these guys or something?
They are not ghosts. They are complicated.
How do you know so much about this stuff?
My dear boy, I've been wandering these woods for over 50 years.
What the fuck?
Are you sure, Billimus? These woods don't seem so large that you could be stuck walking through for that long?
This is not a very large place. I'm just unfortunate that I was never able to get over my past trauma. Therefore, I cannot leave.
Okay, now I'm really confused.
I had a rather unpleasant experience when I was a much younger satyr. I never got over it. So when I entered these woods, it manifested that trauma. And since then, I've been stuck here. because I have refused to face what happened. I refuse to face them.
That's terrible.
So that means if Swole doesn't come to terms with what happened back in Greenest, he'll be stuck here forever?
Seriously, that is some bullshit. We all know I was put under control by that cultist. I had no part in the death of those two.
You're right that you didn't have control Swole, but maybe it's more accepting that they died and you weren't able to help them. Same with Lillian. We all did what we could, but we can't blame ourselves for it.
I've heard enough. I'm going to sleep. We leave at first light tomorrow. Head for the camp and we'll work out a strategy when we get closer. I will lie down and roll over so it's clear I don't want to continue talking.
He might not want to talk about this anymore, but if what you say is true, Bilimus, it would seem we will be down 2 party members.
Is there anything we could do to help you both?
I do not know. Your friend like me does not wish to face the reality of what has happened. We will both be forever trapped in this place, avoiding the truth and hiding out heads in the dirt.
There must be something we can do, Gormley.
Dungeon Master, can I do an investigation check to see if Typhon is nearby?
Go ahead, Joe. You scan the darkened trees, looking for any sign of the raven. All seems quiet and no sign of it has been noticed. Then suddenly, you spot a pair of eyes flash in the darkness, and the sound of a caw can be heard before it disappears.
I jump to my feet and shout, Typhon, please, I must speak with you.
Roll me a persuasion check. You hear a ruffle of feathers, and a moment later, a large black raven swoops low over you all. It lands on top of the cage and begins to caw again. Only your character would be able to understand what it says, Joe. So for all intents purposes, the rest of you will only understand what Gormley says.
First time for anything, I guess.
What is it that you wish to speak with me about Gormley Whitebeard?
I have with me 2 companions. Neither of them will face their trauma, and we have learned that this will mean they are trapped in these woods. Is this true?
There is some truth to this. A being that holds great guilt can be confronted by it in the form of one or several physical entities. They have 2 attempts at coming to terms, or they will become harrows and forever be part of the woods.
Guys, Swole only confronted the others once. According to Typhon, he has 1 more attempt to face his guilt.
That means Swole has a chance.
What happens to someone who becomes a harrow?
They become lesser than what they were. They wander the woods, clinging onto a false existence, never revealing their true form.
I look at Bilimus. How many times have you seen your physical guilt?
I've never faced them.
But you must have at least once. How else would you know what it is?
The raven watches you talk and tilts its head.
To whom are you speaking with?
I point to Bilimus, our newest companion. You must be able to see him. He's nearly as big as our other one.
Then your companion has become a harrow and is beyond my sight.
I look at Bilimus, then ask the raven.
So it is too late.
For this one, yes. As I cannot see him, he must have failed in facing his trauma and become a harrow. But for your other companion, there is still an opportunity.
How do we get someone to face their past trauma then?
They need to think about it. A few seconds is all it would take. The entities will manifest before them, and they will have to face them. It will be down to the individual on what they deem facing their trauma would look like. It may be asking for forgiveness, holding on to someone for the last time, or even fighting them. Trauma dealing comes in many forms, so it is impossible to say for certain, but only the individual will know when it has happened.
Could we help out our companion during this time?
You could, but know that should you involve yourselves and the individual is unsuccessful, then you will be dragged down with them and become part of the harrow. I will now take my leave. The harrow among you troubles me, and you should be wary of it. We will not speak again, Gormley Whitebeard.
And with those last words, it spreads its wings and flies away back into the darkness.
I stand up and call over to Swole, who I assume is still awake.
You're going to be stuck in these woods for all eternity, like Bilimus, unless you actually do something about it. Do you want to avenge our fallen friends? Do you? Then get your shit together. Think about what happened, and let us help you come to terms with it the best way you know how, by kicking the unliving shit out of whatever comes at us.
Joe, roll me a persuasion check, and Donald.
Don't bother with that. I think that's the most coherent sentence that made sense come from this guy's mouth. I'll say those words move Swole. I'll stand up and place a hand on Gormley's shoulder. Let's fucking do this.
Excellent. We should start
By me thinking about what has happened. Way ahead of you there. I've been thinking about it for the last minute.
What? No, I was going to suggest we come up with a plan first.
Too late for that.
As you say this, a rustling can be heard coming from around you. Out of the darkness emerges Sharpen, Bama, and Lillian. They walk slowly into the clearing, eyes staring unblinkingly at Swole.
Okay, Swole, we're with you, right, guys?
I'm going to get to my feet.
I'll leap up and strub my loot. This is going to be an interesting experience.
All three of them open their mouths, and an ear-splitting screech rips the night air apart. A thick mist begins to form around each of them, and shadowy figures rise from the ground, their appearance shrouded by the mist. Gentlemen, roll for initiative!
Har, mateys, this be your boy Crafty GG. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed that last little bit of content. If you did, and you want to see more just like it, you can click on this little box here, just above my head, slightly to the right. That one there, that's a good one, that is. Yeah, well, you'll be enjoying yourselves on that one. If, of course, you're not interested in that kind of content and you're looking for something a bit different, check over on this little box here on to me left. That's also a pretty good banger right there. Either way, mateys, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time. Yar!